I have been wanting to make my own holiday drum stack. Those things are pure magic, but holy moly, those prices are sky high. And I don't want to shell out that kind of money during the holiday season. And we have creativity on our side. So let's head to the thrift store and see if we can find something that we can transform into a show-stopping masterpiece. Blake and I are out running errands, and we passed the thrift store, and we thought, let's run in and see if they have anything. So this is an impromptu shop.
Yeah,
Should we go in and see what they have?
Let's go inside.
All right, let's go check it out. Look at all this Christmas stuff. Good grief, it is full. What are you looking for?
Looking for a computer monitor.
A computer monitor. Well, they got plenty of them up there.
Hey, so what'd you find?
I found a mirror. Look at how pretty this thing is. It's got all these details, and look at the metal work. I think we can do something fabulous with this. What do you think, Blake?
I think we found a great item.
Yeah, let's take it home.
Yeah.
Blake was such a good sport. I'm so glad he joined me on this little shopping trip, even though he didn't have much of a choice. He was in the car, he couldn't help it. But anyway, I'm glad he came, and I'm so glad that we were able to find some fantastic items that are gonna help us create some beautiful pieces today. Let's check out these boxes. I could not believe I found them. Not only was it a score on the find, but it was a score on the price. All three of these stacking boxes was only $3.99, which means they were a little over $1 a piece. Are these boxes perfect? Not quite, but they're perfect for what we need them for. And especially at that price, because as I was looking at holiday drum stacks online, I found some at Front Gate and Grandin Road for several $100s. And we are going to be able to make our holiday drum stack for a fraction of that cost. So the first thing that we need to do is cover up a portion of these boxes. Now the good thing is that these boxes are already gold and they're shiny and they have a very subtle design on it. This color and texture will be a great underlay. We're wrapping our boxes in this gift wrap. I purchased it at Ross. It's really thick. It's got these gorgeous gold snowflakes on it. I've actually already used this when we created our topiary gift boxes. Do you remember those in the dining room? So I'm not buying anything new. I already have this wrapping paper, so we're so lucky. So what I'm gonna do is cut this into 6-inch wide strips, and I'm gonna have it be long enough that I can wrap all the way around our box. Next up, I got a cardboard square because we need a stencil to put over the top of our wrapping paper so we can cut out some diamonds. So I placed this cardboard square over the top of the wrapping paper right in the center. I placed my wrapping paper on top of a self-healing mat, and then I got out my X-Acto knife. An X-Acto knife is going to work so well in this project because we're cutting out a center, so it's gonna work 10 times better than scissors. I continued to move that cardboard square along this 6-inch wide piece of wrapping paper. I used the X-Acto knife to cut out the diamond design inside. This X-Acto knife worked so well, and in no time, I had these diamond shapes cut out of the center of my wrapping paper. Then I repeated this process with a second segment of wrapping paper. We need one more to go on the top box. Now all we need to do is just hot glue this wrapping paper to the box. So I added a little bit of hot glue to the back of the wrapping paper, and then I pressed it firmly to the box. I'm adding a decent amount of hot glue because we want the wrapping paper to lay flat against the box. This was so easy to do, and now I have a fabulous design on the outside of my box that's going to be perfect for our drum stack. We are not going to throw away those little diamond pieces that we cut out of our segments. We are saving them, and we're actually going to be using them right now on our medium-sized box. So I'm going to add hot glue to the back of these pieces of wrapping paper and then press them to the center of the round box. I continue to hot glue these diamond designs to the center of the box around the entire perimeter. This is a fun design that is similar but distinct from the bottom and the top box. speaking of the top box, I'm just going to repeat that process. I wrapped the wrapping paper around the box and then began to hot glue the wrapping paper to the box. So now all 3 of our boxes have wrapping paper around the perimeter. The large and the small box have the same design, and the center box has the inverted design in the center. And now we've got to cover our lids, and this is going to be so easy. All I need to do is take my lid, put it over the top of the wrapping paper, then I got a pencil, I traced around the lid, and then I cut it out with some scissors. I added a whole lot of glue to the top of the lids, and then I pressed the wrapping paper into the hot glue. I repeated this process on all 3 of the round lids. Aren't these boxes looking so fantastic? I love the designs that we have on the outsides of the box and the lid. That wrapping paper coordinates so beautifully with the gold on the box. And we could definitely leave these boxes as is. They would be a knockout, but we want to embellish them because it's Christmas time and we want everything to look fancy. Now you can see that there's a pretty large gap where those diamond designs were cut out. And I want to fill them with a coordinating design. So I had my Cricut Maker cut out some snowflakes on some white vinyl. I weeded away the extra vinyl from around my snowflakes, and I'm not even going to put transfer tape over the top of my snowflakes because at the end of the day, these are just stickers. And you can buy them on Amazon, so don't feel like you have to have a Cricut Maker to do this project with me. Stickers are fantastic. So I'm just going to peel my snowflakes away from the backing and then place them in the center of the diamond cutout. The snowflakes are the perfect design to go in this space. They pop against the gold background, but they also coordinate with the snowflakes that are on the wrapping paper. I'm going to add 1 snowflake in the center of each one of the diamonds around the perimeter of the box. Once I was finished adding the snowflakes to the largest box, I moved on and repeated the process on the smallest box. I'm once again going to peel these vinyl decals away from the backing and press the snowflakes into the center of the diamond opening. I made sure that each vacant space had a snowflake sticker in the center. Once again, I went around the entire perimeter of the box, adding snowflakes as I went. I love the way the snowflakes look. They are the exact design that these boxes needed. I don't love the transition between the wrapping paper and the box. You can really see that outline, and I want to cover it up. Plus, we want to add some more pretty details to our box. So we're going to be using some beaded trim. Now, I have used this beaded trim in plenty of my projects so far this year. We have this beaded trim on the asymmetrical garland above my mirror. We have this beaded trim on the fireplace mantle garland, and this is so affordable. I buy it at Target and it's only $3 per package. So if you're looking for some strands of beads, Target has some beautiful ones. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add this right along the outline of all of our diamond shapes. So I'm gonna get some hot glue and I'm going to add a line of the hot glue along the edge of the diamond cutout. Then I'm going to press the gold beaded trim into the hot glue. I'm going to start at the bottom and then run that beaded trim up to the top and then back down to the bottom in a zigzag design. I'm going to repeat this process around the perimeter. Once I was finished adding the beaded trim to the top zigzags, I began to add the beaded trim to the bottom section. Once again, I'm adding a line of hot glue along the edge of the wrapping paper, and then I'm pressing the beads into the hot glue. I am going to have to make a few cuts because I don't want the beads to kind of overlap because then they're going to poke out a little bit further. This is not a big deal. Just cut it once you get to the line of trim going the opposite way and then start back up on the other side. So I just continue to add the hot glue and press the beads into the hot glue and trim where needed. Once I was finished adding the beaded gold trim to the large box, I repeated the process on the smallest box. Once again, I'm adding the hot glue to the rim of the wrapping paper and then pressing the gold beaded trim into the hot glue. Adding these gold beads hides the edge where the box and the wrapping paper meet. We don't want to see that. So covering it up in a beautiful way is just what we need to do. And also I love that the beads are 3D. They add sparkle and shine and elegance to our boxes. So we have our beads on our largest box and our smallest box, but we need to switch it up for the medium-sized box. So what we're gonna do is use some ribbon. Once again, this ribbon is from Target. It's white and it has these pretty gold polka dots on it. I cut identical segments of this ribbon long enough to go from the bottom of the box to the top of the diamond. Once again, I'm adding hot glue to the box and then pressing the ribbon into the hot glue. I added the ribbon to the box one way, and once all the ribbon was added, I went back and crisscrossed the ribbon going the opposite direction. This time we don't need to cut the ribbon. It can overlap because it's flat. This ribbon is so pretty. It's a fun contrast to the beads, but it also adds elegance to the center diamond section of the box. Another thing that would add elegance to our medium-sized box are some large white pearls. I purchased these at Hobby Lobby, and if they look familiar, it's because we used them when we did a Mackenzie Childs dupe Christmas tree. I used these beautiful pearls as ornaments on the tree. I have some leftovers, so that's what we're going to use. So I added some hot glue to the center of the ribbon right where it crisscrosses. Then I'm going to press the pearl bead into the hot glue. Then I'm going to hold it there for just a little bit to make sure that the glue sets. Once the first pearl was in place, I repeated the process with the rest of the large white pearls around the perimeter of the box. I love the way these pearls look. Once again, they're 3D, just like the beads that we have on the small and large box. But I love the differentiation between the color and the size. These are very unique and different. I think that they are gorgeous. Have you ever walked into your room and thought this could be so much more, but you just don't know what to do? Well, Masterclass can unlock the secrets that will help you to create a beautiful home by teaching you step by step how to do it. Masterclass is the ultimate online learning platform. You can learn about interior design, you can learn about cooking, you can learn about business. They have it all. Dive into interior design with trailblazers like Kelly Wersler, the queen of bold, luxurious interiors. Learn her techniques. She loves playing with color, so I have learned how to take this little color wheel and find colors that will pop in my space. Not only is Kelly on there, but you can also learn from interior decorator Corey Damon Jenkins, who can show you how to mix patterns like a pro. I've got a whole bunch of pillows, and now I know how to layer them professionally. Whether you're a beginner or ready to level up, these inspiring lessons will help you to transform your home and your life. Prices start at just $10 a month, billed annually, or during this holiday season, they have a special discount. You can get up to 50% off your masterclass, billed annually. You can scan this QR code or click the link that's in my description box so that they know that I sent you. It's time for you to learn from the best to become the best. All of our boxes are decorated and beautified, and if we wanted to at this point, we could just stack them up and they will look just like our inspiration holiday stacks. But we don't want to do that because it's mine and I want to add something special to the top to customize it. So what I'm going to do is remove the lid, and we are going to add a beautiful floral arrangement to the top box. So I gathered up all kinds of greenery. I've got pine branches, frosty branches, poinsettias, and then I also mixed in a couple of peonies and hydrangeas. Before we add all of our botanicals to our box, we need to first create a tape grid. I love using tape grids in my floral arrangement, and just because this is a box doesn't mean that we can't put a tape grid over the top. So I got my Scotch tape and I ran 2 lines of the Scotch tape vertically and 2 lines of the Scotch tape horizontally. Then I took all of my winter greenery and added these botanicals into the tape grid. We want our floral arrangement to feel bountiful and lush. Because this box is quite large, it's going to require a lot of greenery and flowers. Now that my greenery is in place, I decided I wanted to tie in the gold from the boxes into the floral arrangement, so I'm going to add a couple of gold leaves sporadically throughout the arrangement. And then I thought, to make it really Christmassy, let's add some ornaments to the arrangement. I picked up 3 beautiful round ornaments at Ross. They're big and detailed, and they were only $3.99 a piece. I'm going to place them in the arrangement. I'm adding them at different heights and in different areas. They add sparkle and shine, and the snowflakes on the ornaments tie in with the snowflakes we have all over our boxes. And then I decided I needed to add a few more white leaves to finish off this arrangement. And now we're done with our floral arrangement that's in the top box. This is a stunning addition. It is going to take our holiday drum stack over the top. So now all we need to do is assemble it. So I'm going to take my largest box first. I'm adding a whole bunch of hot glue to the lid. Then I'm going to take my medium-sized box and press it into the hot glue. Then I'm going to add more hot glue to the lid of the medium-sized box, and then I'm going to take the smallest box with our gorgeous floral arrangement and press that into the hot glue. And check out our amazing holiday drum stack. Look at how huge this thing is. This exceeded my expectations by 100%. In my opinion, it's 10 times better than those Inspiration holiday drum stacks that we saw for a lot more. Well, we were able to create ours so affordably. And I love all of the details that we have on our boxes. We've got the gorgeous snowflake wrapping paper. We have the beautiful gold beads. We have the polka dot ribbon and the pearls. It looks very professional and expensive. It's definitely custom, which always makes things look high-end. And of course, I love the addition of our beautiful floral arrangement to the top box with all of its holiday greenery and flowers, and of course, our little ornaments. I think that that is just the icing on the cake. And now that I say cake, doesn't this look like it could be a 3-tiered wedding cake? If you have a wedding coming up, this might be a design that you could use. And then let's talk about the price. These boxes were such a score. They were $3.99 for the 3 of them. I used wrapping paper that I had at home. I used $3 gold beads, and then these beads are just left over as well. We were able to keep the price so low on this, but we were able to create a substantial holiday decoration that would look beautiful in any part of your house. And of course, you can definitely do this on a smaller scale if you have smaller stacking boxes. I'm so glad I decided to stop off at the thrift store because this set of boxes are just what I needed to create this one-of-a-kind holiday drum stack. If you like affordable Christmas decorating ideas that look high-end, then you have come to the right place. I do holiday dupes, complete room transformations, thrift flips like we're doing today, and a whole bunch of fabulous holiday DIYs. I've got a lot of projects coming up. Right now I'm posting new videos on Monday and Thursday until mid-December, so make sure that you are subscribed so you can get your weekly dose of Christmas decorating inspiration. We're gonna keep our little drum stack right here for the rest of the time because it's too pretty not to just admire, and because I don't want to move it. It's heavy. All right, so I've got my little companion here, but while it's next to me, we're going to talk about that stunning mirror that we found at the thrift store. You guys, this was such a score. I love the crisscross grid at the top and the raised details and the fluting that goes all the way down the sides. And this mirror was only $14.99. That is a great price. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. There are a lot of things that need to be fixed on this mirror. First of which is there's a giant chunk missing out of the bottom. There's a rectangle that's completely gone, and there are a lot of deep scuffs and scratches. So we're definitely gonna have to put in some elbow grease to transform this mirror. The first thing that we need to do is fix that little square at the bottom. I have this package of just randomly sized rectangles that I purchased at Hobby Lobby a while ago. That's why there's not even like a topper on this. So I've used these a couple of times in some other projects. Well, they have a rectangular wood piece that is the exact size that's going to fit into that missing spot. So I'm going to add some E6000 to the back of the wood rectangle and then press it into that vacant space on the mirror. And then I'm going to let it dry for several hours. So now that this part of the mirror has been fixed, we need to turn our attention to all of the scratches on it. Now, the only thing I could think of to do was just to sand those out. So I'm going to take my mirror outside and I'm going to protect the mirror itself with some paper. I have on gloves, my Elias safety glasses, and I'm using earplugs, so we are well protected while we sand. I sanded down as much of the mirror as I possibly could to get out those deep grooves and scratches. It did take me quite a while to sand this down. I even hand sanded the fluting area so that everything would be nice and smooth. I had really high hopes that we were going to be able to re-stain this mirror, but as I was sanding it and inspecting it, it had all kinds of different wood veneers. Some of it was some plywood. It was just a hodgepodge of all kinds of mixed pieces of wood. Plus we had that extra little rectangle that we added to the bottom. So that was a different type of wood as well. So at the end of the day, I thought, let's just paint it. It's gonna be beautiful and it's all gonna be cohesive too. So what I'm gonna do is use my very favorite spray paint, which is the Gold Gloss Rust-Oleum spray paint. I made sure that every part of the frame was completely covered in the spray paint. This wood sucked up this paint so fast. And one thing I like about painting it is that it makes everything one cohesive color, especially considering all the repairs that we had to make. And also the paint is fantastic for the metal crisscross grid at the top. Once the mirror had been completely covered in the gold spray paint, I let it dry for 2 hours. Now that it's dry, we can take it back inside and it's the moment of truth. Let's remove the paper and the blue painter's tape and see what we have. Look at how stunning our mirror is. This turned out so much better than I thought it was going to. The gold is subtle and looks like metal. I love the way that this paint highlights the fluting and the relief designs, and it's also cohesive with the color of the metal. This mirror looks like $1,000,000 and we only paid $14.99 for it, so we definitely got the better end of the deal on this mirror. Now we need to customize it into Christmas. And one of the themes that I have running throughout my decor this year is wreaths. We have wreaths on my Christmas tree. We've got wreaths on the fireplace mantle garland. We have wreaths on the giant arch in the foyer. We even have a wreath right here in the kitchen around the pot filler. Well, I have one of these mini wreaths left over. I buy these at Hobby Lobby. They're $5.99, but you can take 50% off, which brings the price down to $3. Besides the wreath, I'm also going to get a segment of the Merry Christmas ribbon. I'm going to get some frosted leaves, and then I'm also going to take some of these large pearls and peel them away from this large stem. I've had a couple of you ask me where I get these, and they are from Hobby Lobby. I didn't see the white ones there this year. I only saw the champagne colored ones, but they're still so pretty. I bought mine last year, but if you want some, I did see them at my local Hobby Lobby in the champagne color. So what I'm gonna do is assemble this wreath just like I did all the other wreaths that I have throughout my house. And we are going to attach it to our mirror with our beautiful gold and cream herringbone ribbon. I have used this ribbon a couple of times. I used it on a snowflake pillow and I used it a whole bunch in my living room Christmas decorations that we did last week. Oh, I love the way that room looks. So we're gonna use this ribbon once again, and I'm just gonna tie it around the top of the wreath. I'm gonna drape it over the mirror and then tie it to the back hook on the mirror. And then the other thing that we're gonna add to our mirror is some more of these gold beads. I had a little bit left over from our boxes, so I draped it like a beautiful necklace in the front of our mirror so that it would hang right below our wreath. It was so easy to attach to the mirror. I just got some floral wire, wrapped it around the metal grid and the gold beads, and it will hold it in place. And that's it for the stunning decorations on our show-stopping mirror. Now that our stunning mirror is finished, I'm going to take it into my bedroom and I'm going to place it on top of the fireplace mantle. I'm going to lean it up against the large mirror that's behind it. I love layering mirrors. I think it's such a beautiful technique. Not only does it enhance the look of our mirror, but it makes it feel larger than it is. Because this mirror would have been too small by itself on this mantle, but as I layer it in front of the larger mirror, it makes it look so much more substantial. This mirror was quite easy to transform, and I definitely feel like I have a one-of-a-kind piece that's not only going to work for me during this holiday season, but it's going to be able to work all year long, because all I have to do is just remove the wreath and the beads, and I have a beautiful mirror that I can display anywhere in my home. As you can see, the fireplace mantle is completely bare, and that is because we are going to be transforming this room into a winter wonderland next week. So we're starting with a blank slate, but you can see we already have that gorgeous mirror that's going to be the show-stopping centerpiece on our fireplace mantle. So you're going to have to come back next week and see how I decorated my bedroom. We were able to transform very affordable thrifted items into show-stopping pieces that look so high-end. Starting with our holiday drum tower that was $3.99 for the boxes, and then the way that we transformed that mirror was just stunning. And for $14.99 for that beautiful mirror, oh, what a steal. If you want to decorate your home beautifully during this holiday season, but you're on a tight budget, and you don't want it to look like you're on a tight budget, then head to your thrift store, because you can find some pieces there that you can completely transform into high-end pieces of home decor, which proves that you can live beautifully and you can do it throughout the year, and especially during this Christmas season. So like I said, next week we are going to be doing a bedroom makeover, and then by popular demand, I've had several of you ask me to do some more Mackenzie Childs Christmas dupes. So we're going to be doing that next week too. So make sure that you are subscribed so you won't miss out on any of those fun videos. I know you will get some inspiration so you can decorate your home for the holidays. Well, I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much for watching.